Hey guys, this is Jaeger and welcome to a little YouTube tip video. And I'm basically making this because I wanted to give tips out to anyone who really wants to make videos. This video may not be so helpful for those who already run their own channels, who kind of know what they're doing already, but this is more for anyone who's starting YouTube or who is kind of like, I don't know, like wanting to start a channel, has started a channel but they're looking for tips, or someone who's just watching my videos for whatever reason. But let's get right into this. Basically, I think that it's very, or I recommend that you have a camera, because you can't really make videos without a camera. Like, you could try to record with a potato or something, but that won't work. But you could, any kind of phone usually has them. Not any kind, but like cell phones nowadays usually have pretty decent ones. Most of them are actually work better than my camera that I'm using right now. However, I prefer to use my camera because it's got better storage, I could put it on my computer easier, all of that jazz. So, yeah, I recommend using a computer also to edit your videos, unless you are using it on a phone. If you're using a phone, then you can usually find an app or something like iMovie. I don't know what's all on Android, but for Apple, iMovie, that usually works pretty well. If you're using a computer to edit, you could use, what I usually use is HitFilm for Express, and actually I updated to HitFilm 2017 now because that's the newest version of it. It's free, so yeah. Something else that you want to do is you're going to want to like pay a lot of attention to editing, because if you don't put have all your attention on it at the time and you're just racing through, it's not going to turn out good, and you might not line up your audio or something very good. So that is something that I recommend. Yeah. So next, you're gonna want to, if you're vlogging, so here's an example. You're not gonna want to like fling yourself around a lot or shake your camera. Just take your time to be careful about it. Go slowly, kind of like this. I probably have had issues in the past with it because I'm not exactly the greatest at YouTube. But I've gotten better, and that's partly why I'm making this video, because I have noticed a lot of mistakes, even in the Death Games, which is a fairly recent film that I've made. But that one, this goes for short films, mostly, and things like that. Usually you're not gonna want to look at the camera. Now, I made this mistake a lot. I didn't check for it while we were filming it, so some of the other actors made the mistake a lot. So, yeah, there are certain times when it's okay, but when they're like having a conversation, you're gonna want them to look kind of off to the side like this and not be like, oh look, there's a camera over there, I'm gonna look at it for a second and make the audience feel weird. So yeah, it's kind of cringy for me to watch it, because yeah, I have a lot of issues watching it back now. You're also gonna, so next tip is you're gonna want to like make sure quite regularly that you're paying attention to the script and paying attention to how you have it planned out, because planning things out really helps the quality of your videos. If you don't plan things out, then like that's where I have a lot of problems in some of my first short films that I've made. Like the Death Games does not have that problem because we planned it out from start to finish. The only times with that one we went off is if there was something that would make it look better, and I think it did look a lot better than it could with the changes we made, but there's still several issues with that. And my old ones, like, I think it's like one of my Nerf ones from several years ago that I made. That one, we didn't plan. It turned out pretty good, and actually it did really good for the time. Like, I got 10 views in an hour, and at the time it was pretty good, and it still kind of is for me, because most of my videos don't get a lot of views unless they're on a topic that is a really good topic or I do a good job on. Like my music ones where I review videos, those are not monetized, but they do help my channel because they're like, they get more views than most of my other ones. So it gets more exposure. So if you're going for views, you're going to want to look at what's going to work. So for me, if I just wanted views and didn't want to have fun with it, then I would just make all review videos, because those are pretty good for channels. For me, it's not going to help because I don't have a lot of fun with them. Like, I do, but once in a while. If I made it like the whole point of my channel, then it wouldn't work so well. I don't want the camera because it's bothering me. So yeah. You're also going to want to try not to have your head cut out like I have right now. But I like the background. That's going to have to be a thing. Okay. There we go. That's a little... Man, I don't like this camera whatsoever. Okay. And now it's too far to the side, dang it. There we go. Alright. So yeah. That's pretty much it. Something you're also going to look at is framing, like how you position everything in the video. Like, I have this kind of framed right now to where I'm on the side, not centered, and you gotta use the rule of thirds. Usually helps a lot. So yeah, just look at the rule of thirds. There's a lot of channels out there. I might do some videos on tips with that, because I do kind of like tip videos, and yeah, it also helps me because to make the tip videos you have to learn things if you don't already know them, and it just kind of helps you like keep yourself accountable for what you're doing. So like for me, I have to, now that I'm making tips, I have to make sure I'm following them, because otherwise that's hypocritical. And there are channels who are like that. Like, there's this one called D. Fordarius or something. Lots and lots of really helpful tips, but in his own short films he doesn't follow them. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you later. Goodbye.